breaking news right now. A deadly motorcycle crash on the boardwalk in Far Rockaway.
CBS 2's Dan Rice over the scene right now in Chopper 2 with the details. Dan.
Fear is a powerful emotion that can hold us back from taking risks and experiencing life to its fullest. For many, the fear of death is one of our most daunting fears that can keep us from trying new things. But what happens if we face our fears head on? One person who experienced this firsthand was a young man who had always been intrigued by motorcycles, but had never ridden one before. He had always been too afraid of the risks involved, thinking that it was too dangerous and not worth the potential consequences. Seeing news article after news article about riders crashing, it's only right to be afraid, but passion just doesn't disappear overnight. After months of surfing the internet, watching countless videos, and browsing tons of websites looking for that dream bike, something snapped inside of him. He decided that it was finally time to face his fears and go check out some bikes. As he walked into the dealership, he was nervous but determined. He was greeted by a friendly salesperson who asked if he needed any help. He told him that he was interested in buying a motorcycle but didn't know much about them. The salesperson was very patient and informative, showing him many different options and answering all those questions. As he looked at the sleek, beautiful machines, his heart began to race. The thought of finally riding one was both exhilarating and terrifying, but the salesperson assured him that riding a motorcycle was more than just the risks. It was about the freedom, the thrill of the open road, and the sense of independence that came with it. Despite his lingering fears, the young man decided to take the plunge and buy a motorcycle. He found one that really caught his eye, and he fell in love at first sight. After checking it out and taking it for a spin, he decided to pull the trigger. He signed the papers, picked out a helmet, and prepared for his first ride. As he sat on the bike, he couldn't help but feel a sense of empowerment. He was finally facing his fears and taking control of his life in a way that he's never done before. As he started the engine and began to ride, he realized the salesperson was right. Riding a motorcycle wasn't just about the risks. It was about that feeling of freedom, the wind in his hair, and that insane rush of adrenaline. He was hooked. After riding for a while and getting used to the bike, our protagonist realizes that the fear of death was what was keeping him alive. He was so scared of dying that he wasn't living in the first place. But riding that motorcycle made him feel alive in a way that he hadn't felt in years. Without risk comes no reward, and sometimes to truly live, we have to be willing to risk it all. So face your fears, embrace the unknown, start that startup, and who knows where it might take you, because sometimes the things we fear the most can turn out to be the greatest joys in our lives.